Hello and welcome back to the Brew Interviews. I am Robbie, and joining me as always via the internet, my best friend Lauren. It is episode 6, and I already hate fucking editing. So, just an update for how I'm doing. This week we're going to do some brew news. We're going to talk about a new beer from Rouge Brewing. Then in Fave Fives, we'll discuss our 5 favorite 90s cartoons and why. This week on the Brew Interviews.
The Brew Interviews, coast to coast, brews, faves, and more with Lauren and Robbie.
So how you been, Lauren?
Listen, Robbie, I've been real fucking busy. I'm real fucking tired.
Yeah?
But it's been a good kind of tired. So I'm going to post this on our Instagram, but last weekend I went to Florida just 'cause. I had some free flight vouchers, so I was like, and my parents have a house down there, so I was like, well, why not fucking fly to Florida for free and stay somewhere for free? So I did, and I used the money that I would have for a plane ticket, and I rented a Mustang convertible.
Good use of your money.
It was the best fucking thing in the whole world.
Yeah.
So my flights got delayed, and I was sitting at the bar editing our first fucking podcast because it's been taking forever. I have the most sympathy in the world for all the podcasts. I'm never going to judge any sort of bad editing ever again because it is the worst.
True.
But because my flight was delayed for 3 hours, I was sitting at the bar and just drinking a local IPA, and it was great. I got shit-faced. My connecting flight was in not Chicago, Baltimore. And I met people who lived in Keene, were sitting right next to me.
Really?
At the bar. Yeah. They were like my siblings' age. Like, they went to Monadnock High School.
Oh, wow.
Like, yeah. So that was kind of neat. And then when I got to Florida, one of the days I spent going to breweries up in Sarasota. So shout out to Christy at Big Top Brewing. She was awesome. I had been to Big Top Brewing once before, and I really didn't like it. Like, I did not enjoy my experience. The bartender wasn't super friendly. They didn't have flights for some reason that day. They had live music, which was nice, but it was really loud, and it wasn't exactly the kind of music that I would like to see live. But I'm glad I gave it a second chance because she was awesome. And they have this beer right now called a peach milkshake.
That sounds horrifying.
Yeah, well, I was like, ooh, I don't know about this. It was interesting, to say the least.
Okay.
It was very sweet, and I'm not a huge fan of sweet things. And it had like a really full mouthfeel. It was really bizarre, and I still don't know how I feel about it. But they also were releasing like a honey jalapeno beer or some sort of spicy beer. And so she was really cool. She's like, oh, well, let's mix them. Like, let's see what they're like together. And I wasn't mad at it. It was nice and sweet with like that spice on the back of your tongue.
Yep.
So go ahead, if you live in Florida, go to Big Top Brewery, because settle down, because they were really cool. And also shout out to Mick at Brew Life, because he was just a outstanding host and like gave me a really good suggestion for a tattoo parlor because I wanted to go get a tattoo that day.
Yeah,
and I did. What up? I know it was cool because it was my 10th tattoo, and the tattoo artist's daughter was turning 10 that day, so I thought that was kind of neat. But I also went to Calusa Brewing, which is probably my favorite brewery down there, and one other one, but I don't remember what it was. So like they didn't stand out. Oops.
Oh well.
But then I went. My plan, because my flight left from Tampa on Sunday, like at 8:30 at night, so I was like, oh, I'm just going to go up to St. Petersburg and go to a brewery and then go to the Salvador Dali Museum, and then go to another brewery and then head to my flight. Well, I get to the first brewery, and this couple sits down next to me. Like, the whole place is empty, and they sat down right next to me, which is fine. Like, that doesn't bother me, but I was like, all right, well, whatever. Like, I feel like you would sit like a chair over or whatever, but the guy like sat right next to me, and so we started chit-chatting, and the conversation was great. They were both beer lovers. Like, they knew what I did for a job, which is not normal. Like, usually I have to explain what I do. And so when we were done, they were like, well, we don't want to like force you to hang out with us, but we're going to another brewery after this, so if you want to come, like, you're more than welcome. And I was like, fuck yeah, dude, I want to go to a brewery with you guys. So I ended up just going to like 3 or 4 different breweries with these guys that day, and we just like it was a fun experience. It was really nice. And then I got back, and what did I do this weekend? I don't know.
Ignore my text messages?
I know. No, I've been so busy. I've been really, really busy at work. And then I went to 2 concerts this week. I went to, I saw 30 Seconds to Mars and Walk the Moon and Mr. Wives opened for them, and it was fucking awesome. I'd seen Mr. Wives as the main act once a few months ago in Boston at the House of Blues, and they were really good. I really like their music. And I don't really listen to 30 Seconds to Mars. Like, my friend bought the concert tickets. Like, I was just going for Mr. Wives, which was fine. And then the next night, so I went to that on Tuesday. I had a softball game Monday. Tuesday, I went to that concert. Wednesday, I went to a concert in Keene, which was Stephen Stills and Judy Collins. So, like, literally the opposite end of the spectrum on music for that. And then I've just been working like crazy because we're short-staffed, I think. So that's my week. Yeah. Oh, and I had a girl over this weekend, so I didn't get a whole lot of sleep either.
It sounds like you're busy because you choose to be busy sometimes.
Oh yeah, I absolutely will take responsibility.
Yeah,
for
I understand
that.
the work thing, but I mean they're going to Florida, they're going to 2 concerts, and
well, I had to use the flight vouchers. They had to be traveled with by the 14th or something, or they were void.
Yeah. And
I didn't know about it until the weekend before. My mom was like, "Oh yeah, we have these flight vouchers that have to be used next week, or they're void." I'm like, "Why the fuck didn't you tell me this earlier, Mom?"
Get some flight vouchers out to California.
Well, that's why we had them, because our flight from California was delayed in Chicago. We had to sleep in the airport overnight.
Done that.
Yeah, I'll come visit you. We'll do a live. We'll do a non-Skyping a live.
We can do a live one.
Yeah.
Over YouTube. YouTube has a live thing. Twitch.
I don't know what that is.
It's mostly used for gaming, but I think you can do a lot of other stuff with it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, it's not something I'm opposed to.
No.
Maybe if people like us a lot, one day we'll be able to do actual live shows.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Maybe when I'm back on the East Coast.
That would be fun. I like it.
Yeah.
Oh, my chair is so squeaky. So how have you been, Robbie?
I've been good.
Good.
Less busy, which is nice for once.
Ugh.
Because I feel like every time I try to get something done in the past, something else has just kind of come up and boned me. So it's like, all right, do I actually have free time now to get shit done, or I'm just waiting. I know something's gonna be like, oh, we need you to do this now. I'm like, you dicks. Like, all right.
Yeah, right? It's like being busy, man.
It's not bad.
Story of my life.
Yeah.
At least we have some episodes built up. I finished editing our first episode today, everyone. So.
About damn time.
I know. We're going to get it out. We're going to put it out into the world, and hopefully you like us, so the rest of these 6 episodes don't go to waste. I mean, I'm still going to post them no matter what, so it doesn't matter.
I couldn't wait. I hate to taste my beer. Sorry.
I know. I'm like dying. I really want to try it. I'm going to do it. You did yours. I'm going to try mine.
Yeah, I'll start with mine. I think we usually start with you, so I'll start with mine.
Oh, yum.
So this week I'm drinking Dogfish Head. I am drinking their Lupa Luau. I don't know if you...
Show me the bottle.
Can.
Show me the can. I have not had that. It says coconut on it?
It's brewed with coconut. Toasted coconut, dehydrated coconut water, and some like experimental hops that taste like coconuts.
That's interesting.
It is, and that's why I bought it. I was like, I gotta try this crazy shit. And it's okay. Let me try it again. Okay.
Well, you were really nervous because before we started recording, you opened it and smelled it, and you were not excited about it. Are you pleasantly surprised?
So, it smells like coconut.
Uh-huh.
It tastes like coconut and like kind of tropical, fruity. It's
Does it taste like beer? Like,
yeah,
what is it comparable to?
Nothing.
Oh.
It's kind of its own thing. It's okay. It's not great. I think that they completed what they set out to do, which was to make a coconut beer. You know what I mean?
Give you a fucking coconut beer.
Yeah,
yep.
And that's what they did, and it works. And it works. But I don't know. I can see maybe sitting out on the beach or something like that, chilling with a couple of these, or like one of those, like a Corona Rita.
I haven't had one, but I know what they are.
Yeah, like this might work for that.
Oh.
Maybe. Kind of. I don't know.
I mean, that sounds like a beer that I would want to drink on the beach. Definitely. Or in a tropical location.
It's 7.3%.
Oh, shit, really?
Yeah.
I think my beer's a 7.8 today. We're on the same level, Robbie.
Yeah. Not like last time. Wasn't it last time I was like, mine was like super high or some shit?
One of the episodes
no,
were high.
it wasn't super high. No, I just drank like 5 beers.
Yeah. You got drunk one episode.
Like,
I got real drunk at the end of our first episode. I was just listening to it and I was like, I'm a mess.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think I really got drunk until episode 5. And I was like, oh shit, like.
Well, I drank that, what was it, an 8% or something like that? It was a really high beer, and it was a 22-ounce bottle, and then I drank another beer after that, and I'm a disaster. Well, I hadn't been drinking beer, but I've been drinking Robbie, I have been drinking so much fucking beer lately. It's ridiculous. Because all I did was drink beer in Florida. I went around and just drank a shit ton of beer.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I'm getting shit-faced at concerts. And then I went to a brewery after work on Friday, Pipe Dreams in Londonderry. Oh, so good. They had a blackberry sour that was brewed with bananas, and it was so good.
I like me some bananas.
A definite fan. And they had a chocolate peanut butter stout, and I'm not really a stout drinker, but it was really good. I really liked it. And I got a grilled peanut butter and fluff sandwich to eat while I was there, so I drank it with that. It was awesome.
Sounds like you need to go for a run.
I really need to go for a run. I need to do some pull-ups. I need to go for a run. Like, I feel lazy. I feel real lazy.
I worked out like right before this podcast. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna leg day.
Well, that's what I would have done today, but I really wanted to finish editing, so that's what I did. And I drove all the way back from Keene this morning, and then I had to work a little bit this afternoon because I didn't get all my work done on Friday, and then I was editing, so I haven't had time. I really haven't had any time to myself except for today, and I had to devote it to the podcast and work.
Hey,
so.
this is your self time.
Right, and I really enjoy this podcast and editing it, and I think we're fucking hilarious.
Really?
So, yeah. I don't care if anyone else thinks we're funny. Like,
it's
I
just
think
for
we're
us.
Really fucking funny. Yeah.
That's good.
So, should I tell people about my beer?
Nah.
Oh, asshole.
It's from Florida.
Well, listen.
Oh, no, it's not from Florida.
It's not from Florida. It's not from Florida. I was going to drink a beer from Florida to celebrate my trip to Florida, my independence. But
your independence sounds like you just sitting in a bar by yourself drinking beers.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did.
Okay,
that's my independence.
So everybody knows she also owns a cat and lives alone. Just saying.
I have a dog too.
Yeah.
He's cool. You guys would like him. Oh, I posted him on Instagram. You guys did like him. Anyways, okay, so I went to Brewtopia in Keene last night. Shout out, Zach. And he had one can left. I walked into the store and I was browsing around because he was talking to a customer, and he usually comes over and like takes beer. Like I'd make a mixed 6-pack and he'll come over and be like, no, you won't like that one. Put that one back. Take this. So I really appreciate his opinion. And he came right over to me. He's like, do I have the beer for you? And I was like, fuck yeah, man. And so he came out with the double, or it's a double IPA. It's Diamond Unicorn, and it's the Pride beer because it's Pride Month. So I think it's appropriate for me to be drinking a Pride beer.
Yes.
And it's from Lone Pine Brewery in Portland, Maine, which I really need to explore the breweries in Maine a little bit more because I haven't gone to any in Maine. But it's a really cute can. It's got a rainbow, like a cool like metallic-y rainbow on it, and a unicorn and a bunch of like little unicorns. It'll be on Instagram, but I thought it was appropriate to drink a Pride beer for Pride Month. And I think Portland, Maine has like one of the oldest Pride parades. It's been going on for like 30 years or something like that. If I'm wrong, somebody please correct me, but like I'm pretty sure that that's a thing. So the Diamond Unicorn double IPA from Lone Pine Brewing is fucking delicious.
Yeah.
It's a 7.8% beer, and it's brewed with Ella, Vic Secret, and Pacific Jade hops, none of which I'm familiar with.
Any hop variety, I have no fucking clue what they're talking about.
Well, I know like Galaxy hops are supposed to be like really tropical, and like there's a lot of beers being brewed with mosaic hops, and I don't think that I like mosaic hops. I don't tend to like beers that are brewed with mosaic hops as much as I like beers that are not brewed with mosaic hops. I will drink them, but it's not like I wouldn't choose that kind of beer first, or a beer brewed with that first, or with, like, I would look to see what other hops it's being brewed with also.
If it's put in front of me, I will drink it.
Yeah, but this is really good. It honestly looks like grapefruit juice.
I was gonna say, it's cloudy.
Yeah, it's wicked cloudy. And when I poured it out, it kind of looked like lemonade, but it's gotten like more of a pinky yellowy color since then. And It's funny because like the bottom of it is actually a lot lighter than the top. So I wonder if there's like, if things are settling in like a weird way. But it's delicious.
Or you
it's
don't
really,
wash your cup.
I do not need to wash my cup, sir. It's yummy. It's kind of fruity. I would definitely drink this again, but it's a limited edition, so, and it was the last can. He had the last can. I was really excited about it.
Yeah.
I'm glad he thought of me.
Did he
Thank
post
you,
a
Zach.
picture of that?
He might have. I don't follow
On
him
Facebook, I think.
anything.
I think it's on Facebook. Because I know I've seen that can before. Either you posted it or he did.
I haven't posted it. I was gonna Snapchat it last night, but I don't think I ended up doing it. Like, I took the picture and then like got distracted because that's the story of my life.
Squirrel.
Chug, chug, chug.
No.
No, not a chugging beer. This isn't a chugging beer either, but I really like it.
I don't chug any beer, really.
Did I tell you that I shotgunned my first beer?
I think you did. It's okay. My first shotgunning a beer, it was sophomore year of college.
Wow, I'm behind the game here.
And I thought I was behind the game. And it was me and Glenn, and we didn't want to like fuck it up and just get our rooms all nasty. So we
You did it in your room?
We were gonna, but we're like, fuck that, it's gonna be sticky. So we went.
That's what she said.
Yeah. So we went into the showers, in the male dorm, the male showers in the dorms, and just like stabbed the shit out of them. Just tried to make it work. I don't remember it working very well, but.
I was gonna say, I don't think my friend took one of those like can openers, like the little triangle-y bits, and she held it sideways and did it like that, and she's like, okay, don't turn it over, obviously, till you're ready to do it. So it was already like poked for me, and there were like 4 of us doing it because they're like, yeah, we're gonna shotgun a beer with Lauren for her first time. It was in P-Town for Pride, or not Pride, for whatever that Dyke weekend is, but
Dyke week.
baby Dyke weekend. That's what they call it.
No, it's like Bike Week in New Hampshire, but it's Dyke Week.
Yeah, basically.
That's funny.
We got bikes in New Hampshire and dykes in Massachusetts.
Copyright Dyke Week.
Dyke Week.
I'm gonna sell it to Discovery Channel. Dyke Week.
Anyways,
it's right before Shark Week.
I like that.
I hate Shark Week.
Yeah, I don't understand the big deal. Like, sharks are really dope and shit, but like a whole week?
I don't even give a fuck.
How many times can you watch a show about sharks?
Apparently every year.
They have a great sense of smell. They got a lot of fucking teeth, and their skin their skin feels like
their skin tastes so good.
their skin feels like sandpaper, and actually shark does kind of taste pretty good. I've had shark before.
The way I see it, I don't find sharks very scary because they're easily avoided.
Well, I mean, just like don't bleed in the water, right?
Just don't go in the ocean. Why would you go in the ocean?
I go in the ocean.
It's a horrible
I didn't
place.
this time. When I went, I had one day dedicated to the beach in Florida, and they fucking had red tide, which is horrendous. Like, the whole beach was just covered in like dead fish, and I was coughing the whole time, like, because it fucks.
A new word for your period, red tide.
Red tide. Oh, I like that. I'm definitely gonna use that from now on.
Yeah.
Are you on the rag? No, I got red tide.
Red's got that red tide coming in. Like, what the fuck
well, I got my red tide. I got my red tide yesterday, man. Not that you need to know, but I like it now that.
Of course I know. I have a calendar with your cycle on it.
Well, that's gotta be a weird calendar, dude.
Yeah, it syncs up with the moon. It's weird.
Huh. You're going through that beer pretty quick, dude.
It's really easy drinking.
How many of those are you gonna put back tonight?
I don't know.
Enough to get drunk? I like it. Let's get drunk together. I'm feeling like I need to get drunk because I've been so busy. I just want to have a beer with my friend.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Have we discussed our beers enough? Do you want to?
Yeah.
Do you want to move on to cartoons? Because
we gotta move to Brew News, actually.
Oh shit, that's right. We gotta talk about brew stuff.
There is a formula, okay?
You're right. Well, I
There's
know.
steps. I was talking to Hillary and Allison and Alex, and they were talking about this their new thing. They have these steps. They must follow these steps when they're drinking now. Like when they
Ooh,
when they
smart ladies.
yeah, when they drink and they go out and they do this stuff, and it was just so funny. I'm like, I can't remember.
What are they?
They were eat dinner at a reasonable time.
Yeah, so like 6 o'clock.
Yeah, like don't. I think it was like don't get too full.
If I get too full and I go out drinking, I throw
It's
up.
miserable, yeah. And then they didn't go over all the steps, but it was just kind of funny because they kept yelling it to each other. Follow the steps. And one of them was when you get to the bar, no sitting. Don't sit and drink. Stand and drink.
No, that's a bad idea.
Yeah, and I like that one.
I don't usually sit at the bar anyways. Like even if all of my friends are like sitting at a table, like I usually like stand at the end.
Yeah, I think it just depends on the bar and the tables.
Or I stand next to a chair. I think it's mostly because I sit all day at work, so I like don't want to sit when I'm going out.
Me too.
But that, and I have like my back really hurts if I sit for too long, and I don't want to sit at the bar. Like I just don't want to sit when I'm out. I want to be up and like social and stuff.
Maybe we should get standing desks so we can stand and do our podcast.
Oh, I have a standing desk at work.
Yeah.
Which I used a lot when I first. I used it a lot when I first got it, and then I stopped because I was like, well, I'm too lazy for this shit. But I've been using it a lot more often. So
yeah, they're fine sometimes. Just change it up, but they kind of suck sometimes.
Well, it's because I get like really focused on my work, and I'm like, I'm not thinking about standing.
No.
You know.
Yeah, too.
It is hot as shit in this apartment. Yikes.
You mean recording studio?
Mm-hmm. Yes, my highly technically advanced recording studio here. Not my dining room in my 2-bedroom apartment.
Yeah.
With my dog and my cat.
And yourself.
Yes. It's really just a storage unit for all my things because I don't spend any time at home. It's terrible. I'm
kind of what a house
literally like,
is.
yeah, but people like spend time in their domains. You know what I mean? Like, I'm almost never home. It's terrible. I want to spend more time at home. After the summer, I'll be home a lot more often, like because there's so much to do. You have to. I feel like I'm so busy during the summer because it snows here in the winter and there isn't as much to do. So I have to get all of my fun outdoor activities in like 3 months, except the fall. I fucking love the fall. I'll be outside all the time, but there aren't like events. You know what I mean? Like people get married in the summer, and then Pride is in the summer, and people go camping, and like it's fun to travel. But like in the winter, I just want to stay inside and not shovel snow.
I miss it.
So, I think if I lived in an area like yours, where it was like warm out all the time, I wouldn't be as busy because I wouldn't feel so obligated to like go out and enjoy the weather as often.
Fuck California.
Yeah, but like I've been to San Diego. I really liked San Diego.
Yeah, but San Diego has good weather.
You don't have good weather? Just hot weather?
It's just fucking hot. We are way
like,
hotter than San Diego.
Yeah, but you're hot.
And Sacramento and or maybe not Sacramento, but because they're like us, but Sacramento and like San Francisco, both cooler, better weather because it's ocean.
Does it rain more often there?
No, we get rain during the winter, and then it floods, and then everybody gets scared, and that's about it.
Yeah, and there are like fires and shit. So
yeah,
that's not good
fire
either.
season's pretty much starting now. So.
Oh, is it?
And last year was a big problem. So.
Yeah, I remember it being in the news a lot last year. Like, it was really bad.
My friend's farm almost burnt down, his house. He was lucky because I think he said because he keeps his land irrigated for his animals. And I think that's what stopped the fire from just burning all the dead grass. You know what I mean? Because if it was dead grass.
Yeah, because it's so wet.
Yeah. So I think that saved his ass. But like the house down the road from him, fucking gone. Just.
Yeah, you see the pictures on Facebook of like people like taking a picture of their house, like, and it's fine, and literally the house next to them is just gone.
Yep. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. That's the one time it pays off to be that asshole who waters their lawn all the time.
Yeah.
Do like marijuana farms ever get caught up in that fire?
I don't know. That'd be funny though.
That would be great.
Could
you imagine being the firefighter?
There's a large group of people just like standing around waiting.
How far do you think that would spread? Like, if a marijuana farm caught on fire and it was like an acre, I would assume that they're like probably an acre wide, or an acre of like weed, because they're distributing to a lot of places. Like, if that much marijuana went up in flames, how far would that spread? Like, would people just like get high in the area?
I don't think so. I think it does.
What about the firefighters? Like, do they have to take specific precautions for things like that?
I don't know. Sure.
Could you imagine trying to fucking fight a fire and just be like,
questions we ask on this science.
If anyone knows, please email us at thebrewinterviews@gmail.com, please, because I really want to know.
Because Google's too hard for us.
Yeah, no, I'm too lazy to go. I can't even text you back. Are you kidding me? I don't have time to Google shit. Or direct message us on Instagram at the Brew Interviews, or on Twitter at Brew Interviews.
Correct.
Just Brew Interviews. Which I fucked that shit up so hard in the first episode.
I know. That's why
I said the Brew
Interviews. I should have
been
been
all
the one
the time.
saying it.
I know. Listen, you're in charge of Twitter. You plug it.
I was just saying I'll plug everything.
I was doing my best. All right. Brew news?
Yeah, I could do that.
Wonderful. I mean, that's next on the list, right? That's our format?
Yeah.
I was just trying to skip it.
Follow the steps.
So where did you get the news from? Like, how did you find it?
The Full Pint, and they follow us now.
I was just going to say, they started following us on Instagram yesterday or something like that. I got really excited. I fangirled a little.
Me too. I followed them back, so.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
That's cool. Yeah.
Okay. So, Full Pint, everyone, if you want some good beer news, and you like your email flooded with a shit ton of emails.
Yeah, that's true. Well, it's a daily thing, so.
Yeah, it's daily. You could probably turn them off, but if you want really good brew news, check out Full Pint.
Yeah, just bookmark their site. That's what I did.
Yeah,
they're
a legitimate source, and that's how we get all our shit.
Oh yeah. So this week in brew news, we're talking about Rouge Brewing up in Oregon, which is one of my favorite breweries. Dead Guy Ale. They just recently released a new beer, a new sour. Yeah, called Marion Berry.
Yas, queen.
So apparently this Marion Berry is an actual fruit, or it's an actual berry.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it's the Marion Berry. It's where did they say? Hold on.
Insert elevator music here.
According to G.T. Wharton from the Full Pint, Marion Berry originally developed in Oregon State University in 1956, just miles from the Rogue Farms. Marion berries are bigger, juicier, and more flavorful variety of blackberry.
I love blackberry. I was just saying that I had a
almost
blackberry sour.
I almost said that too. I was like, oh, I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, it's a Marion berry sour is made with prickless variety, so it just makes them easy to pick, I guess.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, it's pretty cool. The color is crazy.
Do they just? What is it called? What's the beer called?
Marion Berry.
Marion Berry.
Marion Berry.
Do they distribute it everywhere?
It doesn't say yet.
Okay. Well, keep an eye out for it, folks.
Yeah, I'd really want to try this one.
Yeah, you don't even like sours.
I don't, but I like blackberry. So that's
what I'm talking about.
Kinda...
I don't like fruit, but I really like berries. Like, I'll eat the shit out of blackberries and raspberries. Like, that's my favorite thing.
Yeah, I love.
But like, if you handed me like an apple, I'd be like, no, I'm good. Strawberries are gross. Well, they're not gross, but like, I wouldn't eat. Like, I'm not like, oh my god, I'm at the grocery store. Let me buy some fucking strawberries.
I'm the same way. I don't give a shit about strawberries.
I don't give a shit about fruit. I like vegetables.
I like both a lot. Oh, Asian pears. I love Asian pears.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right. I like Asian pears a lot. There's some fruit. Like, I like plums. Okay, you're right. I'm literally... Plums. Guys, I'm just a walking hypocrite. Like, that's what I am.
Yep.
And I'm not ashamed of it. It's fine. I can admit when I'm wrong.
It looks really good.
Yes, I will be looking for that. That will be the next one on my list. So, what was it? Marion Berry from Rogue.
Yeah, I'll send you the link.
Oh, well, I mean, we share an email, so...
Oh, yeah, that's true. I forgot about that. We share an email. It sounds like we're a couple. We share a bank account.
Well, not yet.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Well, we share an email for the podcast. Yeah. Everyone. It's like posted as my main email right now.
Yeah.
So when I'm like on Google, you know how it gives you like the little icon of like your picture for your Gmail?
Yeah.
Mine is like constantly on the Brew Interviews.
Yeah, I switch between them all the time, but it's...
Yeah. Well, I use my email all the time, and I'm like, I'm literally just constantly switching back and forth.
Yeah.
I'm not mad about it, but like, we need some listeners so that I can actually read listener emails.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Well, we're gonna start getting them soon.
So the whole reason... Shut up.
Go ahead.
So the
No,
whole
I'm waiting
reason
on you.
I wanted to talk about kind of not just this beer, but Rouge Brewing in general, is they're kind of a big advocate of like kind of like the farm to table kind of idea.
Mm-hmm.
So these berries are their berries. They are from their plantation, whatever the fuck you want to.
So they grow their own berries.
They grow their own berries, but not just their own berries. They do their own hops for their beer, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think a lot of breweries grow their own fucking hops.
I know Sierra Nevada does, only because I
they're so
did the
big,
tour
probably,
there. Yeah, they're huge, and it's when you like drive into the brewery, like you can just see them growing like up because you have to tie strings, like they grow up things. So I know Sierra Nevada does. I'm sure that like a lot of small like microbrews don't, because it's probably, although it makes more sense for them to grow hops, right? Because then wouldn't that cut down on their cost of making beer?
No, I don't think so. I think it really just depends if you care about where your hops come from.
Or if you want to use...
They know what's happening each process, you know what I mean? So...
Yeah, that's true. Or if you want to use dry hops as opposed to, like, fresh hops.
It's all sorts of avenues. But they grow their own hops, barley, rye, and which is what they use for their bourbons, their spirits. Mm-hmm. And I have to say, their whiskey is amazing.
I honestly didn't even know that they made spirits.
They did just recently, I think within the last 2 years, give or take. And then it's amazing. It's one of my favorite whiskeys. It's cool. I have a bottle right now, actually.
I'll have to try it.
Yeah, it's good.
I don't usually drink whiskey. It makes me sick. But
they grow their own...
I'll drink it for you, Robbie. I'll drink it for you.
Jeez. They grow their own pumpkins, which they use for their pumpkin patch beer, whatever their beer is called. Hold on, I got their website.
They put it out in the fall, obviously.
No,
right?
No, in the winter. You idiot.
What? Yeah.
I'm
all right. Well, No. Listen, the whole beer. I was just talking to somebody about this last year. Like the whole seasonal thing for beers is being thrown off because every brewery like wants to get their beer, like their pumpkin beer, out first. So like pumpkin beer season to me should be like October through the early December, but they're starting to release them like the beginning of September, and then they're done by the end of October.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, right? That's silly. Like just
pumpkin is a winter vegetable, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but they're like releasing them sooner.
Yeah. But
the growing seasons are off a little bit too, cuz like I know like apple orchards are like the apples are going bad faster. Like the seasons are just sooner now than they used to be.
Makes sense.
Global warming. It's a hoax by the Chinese.
Jesus.
Anyways, we won't get political on this podcast.
Yeah. They also grow their own Marion berries, which we've been talking about. Jalapenos and honey.
Ooh.
They have their own apiary. Is that what it's called? Because an apiarist is a beekeeper. So apiary. So they get their own honey.
It beats the shit out of me, but that's really fucking cool.
Yeah, so they get their own honey. And I had known that for a while, like they've been doing their own honey. I just didn't know what they were doing it for. And they also released a honey kolsch, which I really
see, I don't like kolsches.
I don't care. It's got honey in it. I gotta try it.
You really like honey?
I love
honey. I'm not like a honey person. Like I don't put honey in my tea or anything.
I don't put it in my tea, but I love honey. Like real honey is amazing.
You know those honey sticks that you used to get when you were a kid at like the store? Yep. I liked those because they had different flavors. My parents had it. My parents used to sell them in the store, and I would just like take them. Well, they were 25 cents. Who the fuck is gonna miss a 25-cent like
your parents
honey stick? My parents. You're right. They definitely went out of business because I was eating too many honey sticks.
What if that was the reason?
No, but they didn't go out of business. They just retired.
Just Lauren chugging honey sticks.
If you could have just seen the motions that Robbie made. Ew.
Did I do that right? I don't know.
Well, I don't know either. I drove by their storefront yesterday after I left Brewtopia to go to I had to go to my sister's house. Mm-hmm. They repainted the whole front. I was so sad. They took the sign down. They repainted it because it used to be like bright. It used to be like purple and blue and black or gold. I don't know. It was like purple and blue. And they repainted it like white. And it looks fucking stupid because it's right next to Pedraza's, which is like bright yellow.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand because she's trying to rent it, and like that's probably a turnoff to people trying to.
Is it still empty?
Like, Yeah, it's still empty.
Yeah.
My parents' store left like what 2 years ago.
Yeah. Well, it's because
And
fucking what's.
You worked for.
I didn't work for her. I worked for a company that worked in her building.
Yeah, she owns like all the apartment buildings that are across from my parents' store, and then she owns like all that whole storefront too. But she just got recently married to the UPS guy.
To the UPS guy?
Yeah, the UPS guy that's like on that route who would like deliver boxes to our store.
Oh,
like,
man.
Yeah, she just married him.
Guess he was delivering to her box. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh. Insert snare drum here.
Hashtag take that FedEx.
What's their taglines? Because that would be really funny.
What can Brown do for you?
Yeah.
It'd be so funny if he was black or something. That'd be great.
Oh, he's not.
Oh,
He's not.
what can Brown do for you? I don't think FedEx has one, do they?
I don't know. I know that the FedEx symbol has like the arrow in it between the E and the X.
Yeah, that's not
It's like a
motto.
subliminal message. Yeah, I know, but it's cool. Not a lot of people know that. Or maybe everyone knows it, and I just think that I'm like special.
They are the 9th largest private employer in the United States.
Wow.
I don't know why.
I feel like that's really big.
335,000 employees?
Well, you have to have that many. People are ordering a lot more packages these days, like online and stuff. So
Yeah.
there's a lot more deliveries than there used to be. So you have to have a large workforce.
UPS is smaller than they are.
Really?
I mean, not by a lot, by like 200 employees, but
Oh, well, pff. I'm sure that statistic changes like on the daily.
yeah.
Ow. Did you hear that? That was my shoulder.
Really? That was your chair.
Yeah. No. Oof. Are there like, we should look it up how many breweries like do their own farms.
Yeah. I'll write it down as a note.
Yeah. We'll let you know next episode. We'll come back with some statistics for ya.
How do you spell breweries?
Yeah, Robbie, do that. Because I'm not gonna.
So now that we've done, actually we didn't really even talk a whole lot more about the brew news. We kept getting distracted.
Yeah, we talked about FedEx
basically,
instead.
yeah. Basically, Rogue grows a lot of their stuff in-house, and I think that's really cool. And I think they're trying to do something different than what a lot of other
I think
places
that's
do.
really cool too.
More people should be like them. Also, did you know they're like their 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 hop IPAs?
Yeah, I've been trying to collect. I want a bottle of each of them, and right now I have 6, 7, and 8, and I have their cold brew.
Did you know that they're?
IPA.
Did you look at the alcohol percentage for each one?
No.
The 4 hop IPA is 4.44, 5 is 5.55, and it does it for all of them.
I was wondering if their percentage had anything to do with the number on them.
Well, I mean they literally use 8 different hops.
Do they use 8 different varieties of hops? I like how I'm like trying to drink all these beers and I have literally no idea why I'm trying to do it.
They usually post on Facebook. They'll post a picture for like their 5 hop IPA, and they'll post what each hop is, like a picture of it. So it's kind of cool.
Oh, it's been a while since I had them because I had them a few years ago. So I'll have to retry them.
Go back to them.
I will. Maybe I'll do. Do they make them in the not 22 ounce bottles?
Not the 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8.
Well, I guess I'm just gonna be drinking a lot more beer.
Or yeah, you can do that too.
I was gonna say I would like to do like maybe 3 in one night or something, like the 4, 5, 6. Like try them side by side, not like yeah.
Chugging.
Let me just chug a 22 ounce bottle of 4%, 5%, 6% beer.
Or a pint each. That's just.
I could probably handle that. I have a pretty high tolerance for alcohol, but
I could do it. I wouldn't feel great because that's a lot of hop on. Yeah.
My stomach would not feel good the next
No.
day. That's for sure.
Not at all. Yeah.
I'd have to do it on the weekend.
When I want to feel like shit, I make sure I do it on the weekends. Because I'm an
Obviously.
alcoholic.
Well, I went through the stint of partying every night for about 4 months after I got divorced, and I felt like shit all the time. Like I literally went out every single night for like 2 months straight.
That's nuts.
Yeah, it was expensive.
Yeah. I don't have the energy to do it.
Well, I did it, and I'm still alive, and I learned I did a whole lot of living in that 4 month stint.
Yeah.
Not mad about it, that's for sure.
But we're gonna save Lauren's messy divorce for episode 7. We're gonna do an in-depth analysis on why they got divorced. So
Should we interview like a psychologist or something?
A
That'd be fun.
psychologist?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
I think we should.
You don't want them analyzing you, Robbie?
No, I'm not worried about that. I know I'm crazy. It's not.
At least you can
anything
admit it.
weird.
That's the first step.
I was singing the Beach Boys, "Take Me Down to Kokomo" and all that shit.
Yeah.
I was singing that at work the other day, or no, it was today. Was that today? Yeah, that was.
You don't even know.
It was today, and I was just singing to myself kind of loudly, and people were just like staring at me. Like, don't worry about it.
We're the same person then, Robbie, because
Yeah.
I'm constantly singing things. Or if we use my standing desk at work, I'm dancing because all I do is listen to music 24/7.
I dance and I do like karate moves on people.
Oh, I know, on me all the time.
Well,
We work together.
I actually hit you.
Yes.
Yep.
Not in an abusive way, everyone. Just Robbie's a good person.
Below the face, you don't want to leave any bruises, because then that's when people start asking questions. So.
Robbie, you can't talk like that. People are going to think you're actually abusive.
If anybody has met Lauren, you know that it's okay.
It doesn't bother me. He's not actually beating me up.
No.
Everyone. It's fine.
No.
You know, friends.
The choking,
smack each
that's
other.
real. That's different.
No. That's not a thing. He doesn't do that. People don't know you're joking.
Yeah.
They do now.
That's it, joking. So, guess what time it is?
Beer break?
I think this is the first time in 6 episodes that you have gotten that correct, Lauren.
Woo! Well, I wasn't sure like what you were gonna say, like if you needed another beer, but you were chugging it pretty hard, so I kind of assumed that was the
like-
next step.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna wait until after Brew News.
Oh, thank you. Glad that you had the patience for it.
Yeah, well, it wasn't ghosts.
I think it's my upstairs neighbor.
I have ghosts, so it's okay.
I know, we talked about that in our first episode.
Yeah, was that the first episode?
Yeah, I was really excited about it.
I definitely have ghosts.
You have multiple ghosts?
Yeah, maybe.
Or just the lady that they found?
Just the as her ex-husband so lovingly put it, stupid bitch.
Oh.
Dude, he did not like her. Yeah.
I don't like... I mean, I don't have a problem with my ex-wife. But I would... Don't give me that look, Robbie. I don't have a problem with her now.
Yeah, 'cause
when
you
we
guys are
were
done.
married, it was a problem, but I would never refer to her as a stupid bitch.
No. Well, not to her face. But yeah, I understand where you're coming from.
Not to her face. Hopefully she never listens to this. Could you imagine?
I hope so. I hope she listens to this.
All right. I also need another beer because this was really good, so I drank it pretty fast.
Yeah, all right.
All right.
Cue the music.
Well, it looks like Lauren and Robbie are off to get another beer. Seems like a lot of beer, you two. I know I'm supposed to plug your social media and such, but have you ever considered the idea that you might have a drinking problem? Are my words falling on deaf ears? Oh, I'm so alone during these cutaways. Be sure to check out their social media and their Patreon, I guess. Now, back to the show.
All right, and we are back from our beer break. I have another beer. Lauren has another beer. She has a different beer because she doesn't buy 6-packs anymore. Although this one is a 6-pack, apparently.
Yeah, so I got this beer when I was in Florida, and it's from Three Daughters Brewing, and it was the last of the 4 breweries that I went to on Sunday. I wish I could remember the names of the other ones, but I don't. But it's called Floating Dock Light IPA, and they literally advertise on the front that it's 118 calories and only 7 carbs. And it does taste really light. It's about a 48 IBU, and it's only 4.2% alcohol.
That's nothing.
Yeah, it literally is a light IPA,
Yeah.
which is why I bought a 6-pack of it because this is a decent brewed beer that's light and I can drink that on the reg. I don't have to worry about having 2 and being too tipsy. But that brewery overall was really nice. So if you're in St. Petersburg, Florida, and you want a good brewery to go to Three Daughters Brewing because I had a nice experience.
It's good. So now that we've gone over our brew news, talked about Rogue, we're going to continue into our Fave Fives. And this week is one that I think you suggested.
I think I suggested it maybe a few episodes ago or during one of our side conversations a few episodes ago.
Yeah.
Because I love 90s cartoons.
I agree.
I love them.
I agree.
Because I'm a very nostalgic person. Like I place a lot of value on nostalgia and like memories and stuff. Like I'm a little bit of a hoarder just because I tend to I get it from my mother. She's a Taurus. It's fine. I place a lot of value on like memories and nostalgia, so I tend to hold on to things that I have.
Is that a Taurus
some
thing
sort of
or
memory
a
with?
human thing?
I mean, probably like a human thing.
Yeah.
But I know you don't believe in astrology or anything, but
Well, because it's made up. But yeah, I understand.
listen, Robbie, this girl that was here this weekend, she apparently you can like put in the place of your birth and like the time of your birth, and it'll give you like your rising sign and your moon sign and your sun sign and like all of the planet signs, like based on the exact location and time, and like a description of like your outer self, your inner self, like how people perceive you, how you perceive you. And she read me the descriptions and it was real accurate. Like
this woman sounds like
no, this isn't like a oh, today you're gonna meet someone that's gonna have something interesting to say, like, or like, oh, you're a happy person but sometimes you're sad, like obviously like that's a human race kind of thing, like people have emotions, but like this was real accurate. And I tend to think that, like, don't shake your head at me, sir. Listen, if the moon, I'm literally sweating so bad right now. If the moon has some sort of effect on like tides and shit, the planets have to have some sort of effect on us, right? Because it's all nature and like.
I mean, you're totally backed up by science and facts. What you just
Shut
said.
the fuck up, Robbie.
So clearly,
I'm sure. Listen, if anyone out there has any sort of view on astrology,
don't attract these people. Okay, they're weird. They wear biodegradable underwear. They do other shit that I don't like. Just
Robbie, I don't wear biodegradable underwear, and I still read my horoscope every day.
Yeah, but you're a loony.
I can't even argue with that.
Oh,
you're right.
Man, let's talk about things that we actually like.
Okay, so let's talk about cartoons.
Yeah, 90s cartoons.
That's how we got on this subject, because I like nostalgia, and this is from the 90s, and I'm from the motherfucking 90s.
So I'd say, aside from so the 80s and 90s, I think are the best 2 decades for cartoons in history.
Yeah, so I was looking, because I was like double checking myself on cartoons.
Me too.
I Googled, I was like 90s cartoons, because I knew I was going to forget one that like obviously I watched a shit ton of when I was little.
Yep.
But it gave me some 80s ones, and I was like, oh yeah, you're right.
Because they
like,
flowed into the 90s.
I feel like as soon as we got into the 2000s, like...
Oh, died completely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or at least maybe we just like grew out of the cartoon stage in our life.
I don't know.
Well, because in the 2000s we were like, what, 10, 11, 12? I was born in 91.
I was born in 90.
You're born in 91.
But I mean, I grew up watching a lot of 80s cartoons because that's what was on.
Because you were born in the 90s?
Yeah, like
90?
But I mean, also things like Tom and Jerry. I watched a shitload of Tom and Jerry.
Oh,
Those
yeah. Well, my parents are...
40s, 50s, 60s? Like, that's old. Some of that's old.
Well, see, I watched a lot of that too. That and like Gumby. Like...
Gumby.
Because my mom, like my Grammy Doris, like she would babysit me, and like that's what I watched. Because my parents are old as shit, so like I had all these like old like Looney Tunes cartoons, or like Tom and Jerry, or just like the old, like I don't even know what they are because they were so old. Like nobody else I feel like would know them.
Gumby's not even a cartoon.
Yeah, but it's animated.
No,
right?
I'm pretty sure it's stop motion. Like it's claymation,
Whatever.
claymation stop motion.
Yeah, claymation cartoon. It's not real.
That's not a
life.
cartoon. It's literal figures that they move.
Yeah, that's really fucking impressive. That's more impressive than a cartoon.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not impressive. I'm saying it's not a cartoon.
Well, whatever.
It's like Robot Chicken.
A non-reality show. What?
Robot Chicken is not a cartoon. It's stop motion.
I don't know what that is.
Seth Green from Family Guy, and he does stop motion with like different action figures from like the 80s and 90s. It's fucking hilarious. Anyway.
All right, so I'll look
same
that
thing.
up.
Yeah, same thing along those lines. So top 5 90s cartoons. Maybe one day we'll do a top 80s cartoons. I cheated.
Robbie will, because I don't know what it is.
I cheated a little bit. I won't tell you how. You'll figure it out. But regardless, what is your number 5?
My number 5? Okay, so let me get my piece of paper out here. My number 5 for 90s cartoons is Magic School Bus.
Good choice.
And Magic School Bus, hold on, I wrote down all the years that these came out in. So Magic School Bus came out in 1994. And the reason that this one, I had a really hard time choosing a top 5 for this topic, because I really like cartoons, and like a lot of these cartoons reminisce with me, but specifically Magic School Bus because my parents are old and they like antiques, so they used to go yard sailing every weekend. But as a child, they like don't want to fucking bring a little kid around with them while they're yard sailing, and they need some, you know, adult time. Like that was their date, was like yard sailing on a Saturday morning. So they would drop me off at my grandparents' house, and my grandparents are like also old as shit because my parents are old as shit, and they're like farmers. Like they're like my grandfather was a chicken farmer, and so they have in their kitchen, it was like an old like cast iron stove and like this really terrible like red linoleum floor, and their TV screen was probably about 12 inches. But I would go over there and we would watch Magic School Bus in the morning.
Yeah.
And also Lily Tomlin is the voice of Miss Frizzle, and Miss Frizz, not Frizzle. That's not the same thing.
Yeah, wait, it's not Frizzle?
Is it Miss Frizzle or Miss Frizz?
I don't remember now.
Miss Frizzle. Whatever. Lily Tomlin is the voice of the motherfucking teacher, who is dope as shit, and I love Lily Tomlin. Anyone who watches Grace and Frankie on Netflix, Frankie is Lily Tomlin.
That's how I know the name.
Which is really funny because every time I hear her say like cunt or fuck or like talk about marijuana, all I think about is Miss Frizzle. That's all I think about. And I'm like, that's fucking hilarious. And actually the first record I ever bought, like, because I have one of those like new retro record players, my mom gave me a bunch of her records from her collection, but the first one that I bought was a Lily Tomlin like comedy album.
Really?
Yeah. And I think she's fucking hilarious. So that is why Magic School Bus made my top 5.
You know,
number 5.
They remade it, right?
Yeah, I know.
It's like totally different animation. It's weird, and I'm sure it's true.
Yeah, and I'm not mad about it because I think that Magic School Bus has a really good premise, and it's like educational but fun, and it was really diverse as a kid to watch because, well, every single child on that show was from a different background. Like they had a Mexican kid and like the weird redheaded kid and like a little blonde and like a black kid. Like I think that it was an important show to watch as a child growing up in the 90s.
So I watched a lot of Captain Planet, and that was...
Oh my fucking god! I forgot about Captain Planet. I love that show.
So they did that before Magic School Bus. There was
you're
like
right. Is that an 80s show?
I don't know. I have to look it up. But either way,
late 80s.
It must have been yeah, they had a black guy, a white guy, a Chinese guy, and or Chinese. I think there was an Indian kid. Whoever Hart was, the fucking kid that had a heart. Remember Hart?
No, I don't remember a lot. I know I can
fire,
I can
water,
imagine their
heart.
faces, but I don't know their names. Like I can visualize them, but I don't really know a whole lot about the show anymore. But I remember really liking it.
He's our hero, bringing
like
pollution down to zero.
Serenade me, Robbie.
Yeah. So that's a good choice. I like Magic School Bus. My number 5. I don't know if this will be on your top 5. Maybe, hopefully. It's gonna be Doug.
What, Doug?
Doug.
It is on my top 5.
It is.
Yes.
So where is it on yours then? We'll just do it together.
All right. So Doug is number 3.
Awesome.
On my top 5.
It's my 5. But Doug ran from 91 to 94, which seems like a short period of time, but I feel like it was way longer than that. But I guess it was not. Maybe it's just because we were kids.
Yeah. Well, all of the seasons are on Netflix now, so you can watch it on Netflix. My Halloween costume last year was Quail Man.
Yeah.
Yes, and I made. You know how he has his belt as like his headpiece? I went to Walmart and I bought a really cheap belt and I made that headpiece, and it is the dopest thing you've ever seen. It is my pride and joy of everything that I've ever made. Like I have it like displayed on a bookshelf in my room because that costume, I won a costume contest with that costume.
Nice. I'd like to make that as a costume for this year or something. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I think that I really want to, because I really like, I'm a very crafty person. Like, I have a side craft business. So, like, I really enjoy... No. Robbie, I make map crafts, everyone. Once I get my business and my website up and running, I'm going to plug it on our podcast so I can get some free advertising. But,
And we
Robbie. Anyways, I made a really dope Quail Man costume last year for Halloween. So Doug is, and I actually wrote a paper. I remember in 2nd grade, we had to write a paper about our favorite TV show and why it was our favorite TV show. And I wrote a paper about Doug, and I was like, this TV show is great because it teaches you a lesson every single show. It's diverse. And this is me as...
It's like about puberty. Have you noticed that? Like, that show dealt a lot with, like, they weren't obvious about it, but it kind of dealt with puberty. But if you think about it, some of the episodes back, like him and Patty Mayonnaise, like, it's like, oh, that's, like, a lot of things you deal with when you're growing up. And one episode that sticks in my head all the time is, well, 2 episodes, I guess, where he tries sushi.
I don't remember that
I don't
episode.
remember that? I think he goes out to a sushi restaurant with his grandmother. And the fish starts talking to him, and
oh yeah. Yes. Okay, so I vaguely remember a fish talking. It's like in the roll, like, and it's
it's awesome.
like talking to him. Yeah.
Episode.
Ugh. Man, do you know the voice of Patty Mayo? Do you watch Orange Is the New Black?
I do. Yeah, it's
the yoga chick.
Yeah.
I didn't. As soon as I found that, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
God damn it, you're right. That's one of my favorite fun facts to pull out for people. It's really impressive because no one knows it. It really gets the ladies going at the bar. So, like, if... I don't know if, like, Orange is the New Black is just, like, a lesbian thing.
I'll watch it. And I like girls. That's okay. No, maybe it makes sense.
So it's a lesbian thing.
So I own a shirt that says The Beats 1990 something? Whatever.
Oh. Did you get it on Amazon? Like, because I really want one.
I don't remember where I got it. It was, like, 5 years ago. 4 years ago.
I think I remember when you got it, you were like, hey, look at the shirt I got. And we, like, geeked out over it for a hot minute.
So, when I was in my classes when we took a break from doing this, I made a reference. Somebody said, beats me. And I said, beats me. That's it. And I don't know if you remember from the episode when they're trying to guess the name of the song to win Beats concert tickets.
Oh, was it a radio concert? Or a radio contest?
Yes.
And
they don't know the answer, so they say beats me, and they go, that's it.
And it was right.
And I kept saying it, and everybody's like looking at me like I'm a fucking psycho. I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, that's because no one understands us, Robbie.
Yeah,
that's why we're friends.
So, what is your number 4?
So Doug was my number 3. So number 4 was Rugrats.
It's on my honorable mention.
Yeah. Well, so I had a really hard time placing Rugrats on my top 5 because it was one of my, like, absolute favorite shows. Yep. And have you heard the
theory?
Or read about,
about how Angelica is the only one that's actually alive?
Yeah. Oh, hold on. I have it right here. So that was one of the things that I was, like, researching before we started, because I think it's a really fun theory. And, like, when you think about it, you're like, you know, maybe that's right. Like, it's not too far off.
They interviewed the creators and shit like that. And they're like, no, that's absolutely not it. But because it wouldn't make sense. It just wouldn't make sense if you really watch the show again.
No, all right, I'll have to rewatch it. But can I read it?
Go for it.
Okay, so I got this. This is off of Creepypasta. So if anyone wants to back check me, I have to give some credit to that.
Credible source. So, Creepypasta.
Creepypasta is some bullshit, but, like, it's fun to read. So, this theory is that the Rugrats were really a figment of Angelica's imagination. So, Chucky, who's the redhead, right, with the cool, like, space t-shirt, he's got, like, the single dad, except after the first movie when he marries the Chinese chick and they have Kimmy. So, Chucky died along with his mother, and that's, like, that's why Chaz, his dad, is always nervous all the time, because he's not actually there, and he lost both people in one situation. Tommy was a stillborn, which is why Stu is constantly in the basement making toys, because his son never got a chance to play with them. The DeVilles, which are the twins, stop with the face, Robbie.
I'm sorry, it's just, like, thinking about it is so depressing.
I know,
like,
this is horribly depressing.
Like,
listen, the DeVilles, which are the twins, Phil and Lil, were an abortion, and Angelica couldn't figure out whether it would be a boy or a girl, so it was just both. And Betty, was it Betty, their mom? Mm-hmm. She's definitely a dyke. She is straight up a lesbian. Are you kidding me? Jesus.
She was dating a dude in the show, right?
She had a husband, but
It
like
was a
he was
husband?
it was a husband. I
couldn't
don't remember his name. He had the funky like triangle hair, like
Yeah.
one was going up and like had two coming out the sides. Cray. And that's all of them, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's crazy. It's dark. It's dark.
It's dark, but like
It's coincidental, obviously, but I think it's crazy. It's interesting.
yeah. Did you ever watch the Rugrats All Grown Up?
A little bit, not a lot, but like
Yeah, I remember like they came out with it right as I was at the age of like not caring
Yeah.
about those kind of cartoons anymore, and it came out like maybe around New Year's one year, and so like I stayed up and watched, like I was like kind of excited for the release because I wanted to see how that would progress and like what I imagined for their future to be like what the show imagined for their future. Wait, wasn't there one more? What's the black girl's name?
oh, Dee Dee? No.
Susie?
Susie.
Susie, is she on here? I didn't read that far.
Yeah, I think I remember her being part of it, but I don't. Susie's the black friend.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the theory.
I don't know. She might be part of this theory, but I didn't have the time to research. Cynthia's part of it too, which is
Yeah.
Angelica's little doll, but whatever.
Phil and Lil.
If you want to
my
look it
favorite.
up, go to Creepypasta.
So my number 4, and I hope I doubt this is on your top one, but since I'm a huge fan of horror and monsters, I'm going with
Real Monsters.
Real Monsters.
Oh, it's on my honorable mentions.
All right, Real Monsters ran from 94 to 97. Great show. It was just different with Crumb
loved
and Ickis, and all the characters were super cool and creative, and I just
What was the tall,
love that.
the long, skinny one? with
Oblina?
the black and yeah.
So I own the game on Sega.
I knew this was gonna be on your top 5.
Yeah, really?
Yep.
Nice. I owned the game when I was a little kid on Super Nintendo, and it was so hard, and I just remember renting it all the time. I bought it, and I still couldn't beat it. But I own it on Genesis now, and it's still fucking hard.
Really?
It is a difficult
so
game.
I had the Looney Tunes, not Looney Tunes, Tiny Toons,
Yeah.
Tiny Toons game on Super Nintendo, and that shit was really fucking hard too. That and the Toy Story game.
Yeah, Toy Story was a shitty game, though. I remember that.
Oh yeah.
Still is
Well,
a shitty game.
it was just like you would jump like directly on like something to jump on something else, but it would make you fall. Like it was
Yep.
just a poorly designed game. But I feel like all of the cartoon games that I've ever played for like Super Nintendo were just hard or like bad.
I'd have to go through, but some of them.
Although I didn't play that many on Super Nintendo because I didn't have that many games. Like I transitioned very quickly from like regular to Super to Nintendo 64.
Yeah. Yeah, but if you get a chance, Real Monsters, great show.
Yeah, that's also on Netflix, so check it out.
Is it on Netflix?
Oh yeah,
I remember it being.
all the
I remember they
seasons.
put it on there, but I don't remember if it was still on there. Either way.
I think it's still on there.
Should I do my number 3 since we already talked about?
Yeah, since my number 3 was Doug and we already discussed it.
So this one you probably don't know at all. I doubt. My number 3. It ran from 1999 to 2000.
Okay.
It is Zoids.
Zoids. The name sounds familiar, but I don't think that I ever watched it.
Zoids Chaotic Century. It was a show. It's kind of like, think of like Transformers, but they're actual machines that people drive, and they're all different animals.
Okay, that kind of sounds. Was one like a motorcycle or something?
No, I don't think so. They're all animals, but like it was super badass. It was like a Transformers but better, and I just fucking loved that show. I had the action figures when I was a little kid, and it was just cool. Like such a badass show. Such a badass show.
All right, I can get down with that. Is it available on any sort of streaming to watch that you know of?
There is a, I guess it's technically under anime. I guess because it was a Japanese cartoon originally.
Oh, okay, that's probably why. I didn't watch it.
There's a subscription service base called Crunchyroll.
Crunchyroll?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like a sushi roll?
Yeah, but it's just Japanese anime, like a subscription service. Now,
Right.
I'm sure it's on there. It's got to be.
All right. Well, if anyone's interested in that kind of stuff, check it
Yeah.
out.
So it's badass robots fighting each other with people. It's fucking amazing.
I dig it.
Zoids.
Oh, all right.
I'll send you the theme. It was awesome.
Perfect. Maybe we can get the rights to play it on our podcast.
Yeah. Hey, I think if you play audio tunes like a certain length, you don't have to deal with any of the bullshit.
Oh, cool.
I'll
We
just
should
say
check
that.
that out.
Yeah.
We'll look into it. Robbie's going to be my secretary and do that.
Yeah.
So,
So we might have to do a beer break before we start this, or I need a beer break.
oh my
at least.
God. Robbie is just chugging these beers. I have to pee, so like,
They're super easy.
I'm halfway through mine. I know you're literally chugging them.
They're 7.8%. That's what scares me.
So Robbie's gonna be drunk before the end of this episode.
Yeah.
2 beers down, and we're only halfway through our top 5 list.
Plus, I'm sure we're going to talk about a bunch of other stuff. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So let's do a quick beer break.
Well, here we go.
Well, it looks like Lauren and Robbie are off to get another beer. Seems like a lot of beer, you two. I know I'm supposed to plug your social media and such, but have you ever considered the idea that you might have a drinking problem? Are my words falling on deaf ears? Oh, I'm so alone during these cutaways. Be sure to check out their social media and their Patreon, I guess. Now, back to the show.
And we're back. Here we are. Robbie got a new beer, and the face that he just made when he took a sip of it is fucking ridiculous.
What the fuck is this?
Mm-hmm. So you have a Gosa now?
Apparently, it's from Sierra Nevada.
I like Sierra Nevada.
Yeah. It's a Otravez. It's a Gosa style ale brewed with lime and agave, and it is something.
What does it taste like?
It tastes like agave, which I like those aloe agave like drinks. I don't know if you ever had those.
I haven't, but I've seen them.
They're good, but this is weird. 4.9% alcohol. It's super light. It's definitely like a summertime.
It looks like a light beer, like
crazy.
A pale ale or something.
That is so weird. I don't know. I'm sure.
Is it salty?
I don't know if I'd say salty.
I had when I went camping, I got like a mixed pack of Harpoon because I like the Take 5 from Harpoon, and their IPA is pretty good. And I didn't know what the people that I was going to be camping with liked, and I wanted to bring something that everyone could drink. And they had their Gosa.
Yeah.
And literally, it is like the saltiest fucking beer I've ever had. Which makes sense because after we did, episode 2, when I had that passion fruit Gosa from Two Roads, which I had again last night, and it was really good. And my sister doesn't like sour beers or like hoppy beers, and she tried it last night, and she kind of liked it.
Really?
But, yeah. It was just like, I was like, wow, this is really fucking salty. And if I didn't know at that point that a Gosa like was supposed to be salty, I would have been like, this beer's gross. And I didn't particularly like it, but some of the other people that I was with liked it. But that's why I was wondering.
Yeah, that's the first Gosa I've had.
I have a new beer also. I'm not drinking it yet because I still have about half a glass of that other the light IPA to finish. But my beer that I'm going to be drinking very soon is from Big Top, and it's called Ringmaster, and it's a raspberry Berliner.
Berliner.
Which
Ich bin ein Berliner.
Do you know about Berliners at all?
No.
I don't either, and I feel like the descriptions that are usually associated with them talk about wheat a lot.
You don't like wheat beers, right?
No, I don't like wheat beers, which is why I've never really drinking them. Which one's correct? Or they're Weisses? Is that how you say it?
Weiss.
Yeah, but aren't those usually like really weedy beers?
Yeah, I guess I'd say they are. But I mean, you teach their own. It kind of changes.
Well, I was looking it up. It tastes more of like a sour than it does wheat. Like, I like this. I really like these, and with lemon and raspberries,
Just kind of overpowers everything else.
I love anything flavored lemon. Like, lemon is one of my favorite flavors, and so is raspberry. So together combined in a beer, I'm very happy.
I feel like that's a common thing is raspberry wheat beers.
Right, but like it's not weedy. Like, it doesn't have that like overpowering like yeasty taste.
Hold the can up or bottle or whatever.
It's called Ringmaster, and it's from Big Top Brewing in Sarasota, Florida. So this is one of the another Florida beer that I tried.
I like the name.
I got. Yeah. They do some pretty interesting. I'd like to do a tour here now that I've had a better experience. So I'm probably gonna go down for Thanksgiving this year, so I'll go again.
Yeah.
But I really like it, so I'm trying to chug through this other light IPA because it's fine, but it's a.
Do it on camera.
Okay, ready?
Let's do this. Chug, 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 chug. What are you doing? What are you doing? Chug the goddamn beer. Chug it.
Robbie.
What?
I'm not a good beer chugger.
Neither am I. I just took a snapshot.
We'll have to get a Snapchat for the podcast.
Going on the Instagram.
Yeah, send it to me. I'll do it. Oh, yeah, your face, dude.
It's so weird. I'm just not used to it, I guess.
I want to try it.
Yeah, Sierra Nevada.
I'm going to look for it. All right, I'll look for it next time I'm at the grocery store, which isn't often because I choose socializing over grocery shopping all the time.
This would be good on a, like one of those beer margaritas.
So you're just like, you really need a beer margarita.
Apparently.
Because you keep choosing these beers that are beer margarita beers.
Just gotta start drinking fucking tequila when I do these things.
Oh, my lights just flashed in my apartment.
Gross.
Probably. I told you that one time. My beer bottles ended up on the floor. And there's no way they'd fall, so.
Well, I have a haunted cabinet, so.
You have a haunted cabinet.
No
I have
issues.
a friend who passed away who haunts my kitchen. It's fine.
Hey, that's a good one. That's a good ghost.
Yeah, he's a good ghost. And I think sometimes he comes and plays with Minor because there are days that Minor is more elated than others, and there's no reason for it.
Yeah, that's good.
So
I'm okay with it.
yeah, we should try and hook up with the And That's Why We Drink podcast.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
they
'cause
drink.
They do the paranormal shit.
And we drink, and they do paranormal stuff.
Yeah.
And I fucking love them. I love
what is
them
it called
so
again?
much. And That's Why We Drink. It's a paranormal true crime podcast.
What do you listen to it on?
Oh, I listen to it through Spotify, but they're also on iTunes. I don't know any other platforms that they're on, but I highly recommend them. They're really fucking funny. M doesn't drink alcohol, drinks milkshakes instead.
Really?
Or switch to LaCroix.
Oh my God.
But Christine drinks wine through the whole thing. So if you like true crime or paranormal podcasts, highly recommend And That's Why We Drink. Also, Two Girls, One Ghost. I know the name is, but they're funny.
I know,
like they're
sure.
these two they are just gorgeous. Robbie, look them up on Instagram. They are beautiful, both of them, and they're really fucking funny. And one of them is based in Boston, and one of them is based in California. So it's kind of like us. Like you're in California, I'm in New Hampshire. We're on different coasts.
Yeah.
But I ordered one of their tank tops, and it has like their logo, which is just a ghost that kind of looks like a sheet. You know what I mean? Like a sheet ghost. And it says Two Girls, One Ghost. But there's no reference to a podcast on it at all. So I get the weirdest fucking looks whenever I wear it. Like, I stopped at McDonald's to pick up some food the other day before a concert for me and my friends. And I was wearing that tank top. And the guy was just like, oh, I haven't seen that one. And I was just like, it's a podcast.
That's smart, though. Everybody knows Two Girls, One Cup. If you haven't checked out Two Girls, One Cup,
Don't.
link below.
We're not linking that. Paul, who was my...
Our Paul? You know Paul.
No, I was going to say our friend. But then I was like, he's not either of our friends anymore. But like, Paul was one of my good friends in high school, and we dated for a hot second. And then
Wasn't
before
that
I was
hot?
gay. And but on his 21st birthday, I said something about Two Girls, One Cup, and he was like, oh, what's that? And I was like, oh, you're watching it now. And so I made him watch it, but then he got really shit-faced that night, so we were trying to make him puke, and he couldn't puke, and I stood next to him, and I got really close to his face, and I just whispered it in his ear. I was like, Two Girls, One Cup. And he just puked everywhere. It was really funny. Don't look that up, but look up Two Girls, One Ghost podcast.
Yeah. And then
Because it's really good.
And then when
It's
you're
really
done, look up Two Girls, One Cup. It is
Don't.
It is a romantic
An adult
drama.
film?
A romantic drama about two women trying to find themselves in today's modern society in a tub, if I remember correctly. And yeah, just
I
a
thought
good
they were in a kitchen.
just a good family movie. You know, bring your kids, your young ones. that kind of
I'm
thing.
literally gonna edit all of this out.
Yeah, well,
You
you're
are
not. You're
terrible.
keeping all this.
You're like, you kept the pussy eating comment. You have to keep the Two Girls, One Cup comment.
I'm not gonna talk about this on the podcast. So, what is your number 2 show of all time from the 90s?
All right, so
Or
my number
cartoon.
2 90s cartoon is Hey Arnold.
On my honorable mentions.
Because who doesn't fucking love Hey Arnold? His grandma's psycho. It's super diverse. he gets in a lot of trouble. Helga G. Pataki. Every time I have to get my fucking eyebrows waxed, I'm like, I text my hairdresser. I'm like, look, I look like fucking Helga G. Pataki right now. You need to fucking wax this shit off my face.
Helga G. Pataki.
Oh, I love that. I think that Hey Arnold is just a really wholesome show. Arnold is a really good person. Like, there's never, I feel like it's not a very conflicted show, but it touches on a lot of subjects that are important.
So there was one episode of Hey Arnold that sticks with me today, and I remember because it fucked me up when I was a kid. So, actually, two episodes.
Time out.
two episodes.
All right.
The first one being where Arnold takes like karate lessons.
Yeah, and his grandma, dude.
So, and that guy comes up to him on the bus, and he like karate chops the shit out of him, and his pants fall down, and the guy starts like crying, and he's like, "I just wanted to know directions to the bus," or something like that. And I'm like,
yes,
that hit me as a kid. I'm like, oh my god, that's horrible. Like,
yeah,
I
like
never want to beat up on somebody because of that, because I don't know what they're going through. I don't know what's gonna, you know what I mean, like.
Exactly.
That
You
fucking
never
sickened me.
know what somebody else in life is going through because you're not in their shoes. And somebody can present themselves in a certain way that somebody might not interpret correctly.
Yes. That,
and I really remember that episode too because I felt the same way. I was like, "Oh my god, like I felt the sadness that Arnold felt when he did that."
So much. It's
Yeah.
crazy. It's crazy that still sticks in our fucking brains.
But that just shows how good of a cartoon it was. Like, if it had that much of an impact on us, and we're 27 years old, and we watched it when we were probably like fucking 10.
Yeah.
That's a good 17 years to remember something like that makes you respect other people or think about other people in a different way.
You know, another episode, the other episode that sticks with me, that does that same kind of thing, is the episode where he meets that girl that's new to the school.
She was like redheaded or blonde or brunette or
I don't
something.
remember,
She had,
but they're poor. Like, her father ends up being like, you know, out of a job, and they're poor, and they like, I think like one of the scenes, like they can't afford food or something happens, and like they have to eat like a can of beans, and they're like crying. They're like crying over the dinner table. Because,
I remember that.
Yes.
Too.
Oh my god, because that's all they have to eat, and I'm like, holy shit, like this is fucking me up. Because I still remember that. I still remember that.
People like live like that.
I know. That's my biggest fear.
I think it brought to light a lot of topics that parents don't necessarily want to discuss or realize they should discuss with young children.
Yeah. Because when you're a kid, you don't know how to handle those situations when you see something like that.
Yeah, and I think Hey Arnold like did a really good job of like, okay, like if you run into this situation, this is a way to handle it.
Yeah.
Or this is how maybe you should feel about it. And he grew up in a boarding house, so it was super diverse also. I think that a lot of 90s cartoons were really diverse.
A little diverse and a little dark in a way.
Yeah, and I don't know if like modern day cartoons are the same way, or if children these days interpret them the same way that we interpreted like 90s cartoons.
I don't think so. I think cartoons like nowadays are so fucking dull and like just for this ADHD audience that just kind of.
But that's what I mean. Like, we're not that age, and we don't interpret the world the same way that a 10-year-old interprets the world.
No, to our age now, no. But I mean, but even back then, I knew that was fucked up.
Yeah.
Scenes, and I was like, oh my god, that affected me.
I think that we both picked really good shows, or we've been picking good shows that like that like really interpreted the rest of the world for us, or like like opened up our views on the world.
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, I have Zoids and Real Monsters.
Well, some of mine aren't, but like.
But they're my honorable mentions and shit like that. But
yeah, I have a lot of honorable mentions, so I'll just run through that list real quick afterwards.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I did 6 honorable mentions just to narrow it down.
I have like 10, so we'll get there.
Okay.
All right, so Hey Arnold, great show. I think that it was really important for my development as a child.
I'm just realizing I probably should have put that as number 5, just because of those 2 episodes, and that's it.
What was your number 5, Doug?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Doug did a good job of that also. All right. What's your number 2?
My number 2, 90s TV show, Dragon Ball Z.
Okay, I can get down with that. I watched Dragon Ball Z as a child. Not a whole lot, but like enough to kind of remember what was happening, but like not know what's going on.
Yeah. So this was the first TV show when I was a kid that I would rush home from school. I would do my homework so I could sit down and watch Dragon Ball Z at 5 o'clock every single day.
I was not that persistent about it, but I remember
was.
being excited to watch it.
Yeah. The only other TV show or cartoon that I ever did that with was Scooby-Doo. But that's not a 90s TV show. So
No, that's a 80s?
no, it's like 60s.
70s?
It is old.
Oh,
Scooby-Doo is
from the
old.
beginning.
Yeah, the real.
Yeah.
Pup named Scooby-Doo. Good show. Also, but that's from the 80s. But yeah, so Dragon Ball Z, Goku, Gohan, Vegeta.
I think that my friends were really into it, so I was into it.
Dude, and then like at the end of every episode, you just be so pumped up from what happened before, and that one voice, that one guy at the end be like, next time on Dragon Ball Z. And like it was, I miss it. I miss the that's so good.
I remember enjoying the episodes, but I wasn't able at that time in my life to like follow something like that.
Yeah, I was, sadly.
Right, so that was your number 2?
That's,
Do you want to guess each other's number ones?
yeah, we can.
All right, do you want to guess mine?
Oh man, I'm trying to think what we haven't, like all my guesses we already said, so.
I know. My guess for
man.
you would have been Real Monsters, because I knew
Oh, really?
that was going to be
Yeah.
on your top 5.
Your number 1 90s cartoon.
I want to look at my list and see if...
I honestly don't know, because we said all the ones I would have guessed. But let me just throw one guess out there.
Okay,
I don't feel good about it, but
that's all right. I won't judge you.
Animaniacs.
No, that's not even on my honorable mentions.
It's on my honorable mentions.
I think that I never really watched it, actually.
You need to go back and like find some of the references, because they were so smart about how they did their reference, like cartoon. It's fucking hilarious, like adult humor sometimes.
Hold on. Oh, my cat's eating his cat food. I was like, what the fuck is that? Every time he eats his food, I'm just like, what the fuck is that
What
sound?
the fuck?
All right, so your guess for me was...
Animaniacs.
My number 1 is Rocko's Modern Life.
Yeah, should have guessed that.
I think that it's a great show. I don't even like...
Speaking of adult humor, Rocko's Modern
Yeah.
Life was quite guilty of that.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, and I think I really liked watching it as a kid, but I don't think I quite understood what was being said.
No.
But I rewatched all of the episode, like every episode recently.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay, I definitely didn't understand this as a child. I really like it now. I think I really liked how kind Rocco was. He was really kind. He was really considerate of other people. And that really resonates with me because I'm such a people pleaser. Like, I really want people around me to be, like, happy and comfortable. And, like, I understand the grumpy neighbors and, like, how people can be like that. Having the friend who's anxious or having the friend who's just like, I'm here I am. Having a crush on like a girl. I don't know. Like, I really enjoy Rocko's Modern Life because it brings to light issues, but it's also really funny and it has adult humor.
Did you catch any of it?
What?
He works at a sex hotline. Did you know that?
Doesn't he work at a video store?
No. Well, no. I think at a point he does. But if you watch some of the episodes, he worked for a sex phone hotline. Yeah.
The shit out of that. Are you kidding?
Look it up, and there's, I can't remember, it's obviously been forever, but one of the episodes, when he's at work on the phone, there's a sign, and on the sign it says, I think it says like, be hot, be naughty, but be nice.
I'm definitely gonna look
It
this
is
up,
fucking
but
ridiculous.
that makes me real fucking happy.
Yeah, and then there was a deleted scene. I don't know why I remember this, but
Because you're crazy.
yeah, they go to a hotel, and it's like a seedy sex fucking hotel.
Yeah.
And it says like, and the guy's like, oh, we don't have any rooms right now for the next 20 minutes. And then a light goes off. Yeah, and a light goes off, and he goes, oh, we have a room now. We have like our premature, what did he say? Like a premature reservation or some shit like that. It's fucking hilarious, but.
How did that shit fly?
Cause it was fucking kids. We didn't notice it, obviously.
I feel like
And
if somebody
parents didn't
tried to
watch
put
it.
a cartoon out now with that, like, that would never go out.
Maybe. I don't know.
Although I really like watching movies with like kids because I understand what's going on, but like they have no idea. So I wonder if our parents the same thing. Like they're just like,
No.
our kid doesn't know what's going on with this, so like who cares?
I don't think so, because my parents never watched cartoons with me. Plus, the ones that were super obvious, like Ren and Stimpy and South Park and shit like that, like they obviously wouldn't let me watch initially.
Yeah, I wasn't allowed to watch Ren and Stimpy, Beavis and Butthead, like
Yep.
South Park. I wasn't even allowed to watch The Simpsons, which is like literally the oldest running cartoon ever.
Cartoon series, maybe.
What?
It's not the oldest running cartoon ever.
No. Well, how many years has it been running though?
Since the early 90s, mid 90s.
It has a lot of fucking seasons. It has some sort of record.
It is.
For
It's the
cartoons.
longest running cartoon series, I believe. But
Yeah,
it's not the
that's what I
oldest.
meant.
The oldest cartoon. You said the oldest cartoon.
What that? Bro. Listen, I like the Halloween series for Simpsons.
Oh, Treehouse of Horrors.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Treehouse of
yes,
Horrors.
my
I like
favorite.
watching those.
Yep. Treehouse of Horrors was
Halloween.
like, I don't know if you read comics as a kid, but there was like it was almost like the What If series
Mm-hmm.
of comics, and it was like, what if Spider-Man fought Iron Man, and what if the Hulk fought, you know what I mean? Like they did scenarios that weren't canon to the story, but they just were like, let's do this and see what happens, you know?
Yeah, that's probably why I like them.
Yeah, exactly. And they were amazing.
I did look at comics as a kid. We should talk about comics one day.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
One day, one episode.
I have a number 1 through number 4, Swamp Thing, original Swamp Thing from 1971, 72.
I feel like that's really impressive, but I don't know what it is. But I'm gonna like.
Swamp Thing? I love Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
Rah. It's cool. It's displayed on
Just like that?
my horror shelf, but yeah.
All right.
Okay, so my number 1 that you're going to have to try to guess. It did not start in the 90s, but it caught, I wouldn't say, I guess, it was super popular through the 90s too.
So it's not an actual 90s.
It is a
cartoon, so you
90s.
cheated.
No.
This is what you were talking about when you cheated.
It is a
you
90s TV
jackass.
show because it played in the 90s for 6 years. Only 3 years in the 80s. 2 years. So technically, it's more of a 90s show than anything.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Bing, 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 bing. Are you serious? You got that shit?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, listen, you literally have a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles thing behind your head, and that's
Oh,
the
yeah.
only reason I guessed it.
Did I show you that already?
No, I don't think you have a picture with the robots that are next to it. That was an interesting face that you just made. I have a picture with the robots for one of our episodes, but
That was way before I found that. I found this at a yard sale.
the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
It's a figure case from the 80s that you used to put all your Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figures in to store them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I found that. It's pretty awesome.
I like that. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles would have been a guess for you no matter what,
Yeah.
anyways. So I just got lucky.
They're my favorite thing ever. So I have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles board game from the 80s. It's
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah. I'll send you a picture. It's crazy.
Yeah, please.
It's in like perfect condition. It has all the pieces. It's great.
Did you play the video game at all?
Yeah.
I would assume you did.
Oh yeah. I have all 3 of them for the original Nintendo, and then I have Turtles.
Yeah, I have it for the original Nintendo
Yeah.
too.
Well, the first game sucks dick, but the other 2 are great. But I have Turtles in Time, which is TMNT 4 on the Super Nintendo. Best game ever.
Yeah, I have that one too.
I think it was my number 2 on top games of all time.
Oh, really?
I think so. It was like Resident Evil 0 and then
Yeah.
Turtles 4. Mm-hmm. Displayed right now, like it's my favorite game of all time. One of them.
I went on a date with this girl to Bit Bar in Salem, Massachusetts.
Yep, heard of it.
And one of the, like, we were kind of like playing games separately and like together. And like the last game that we played together was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle
Yes.
game. And it was literally the same game
Yeah.
as the Super Nintendo version.
It's a little different. Arcade
Well,
games
yeah.
run at a better quality, but yeah.
Yeah, obviously the arcade game is different from the console game, but it was like the same scenes. Like I remembered, I was like, "Oh, I've played this a lot. Like, good luck."
I still play all the time when I'm drunk. Like I'm just like 'cause
It was a lot of fun.
I have the arcade stick for Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis.
I have the arcade set for the regular Nintendo.
The Advantage. Mm-hmm. I have it
Yes.
displayed. I have it right over there. It's sitting there.
I like it. Oh,
I have
That's
the
fun.
one for Sega Genesis. I can't remember what the stick is called, but it's a way better quality stick. So if you do decide to get something like that, get that one.
well, I've been looking for. I want to get a Genesis, but I've been looking for like a affordable one.
Oh, I have one. if you want it.
Robbie.
Just fucking send me your mailing address. I'll just fucking mail it to you. I
Okay, my mailing. No.
don't. One,
I'll let
two,
you know.
three.
I'll let you know. Yeah, right?
I'll throw in a Mortal Kombat with it.
Oh, I love Mortal Kombat.
See, I don't.
Really?
I hated them. I thought they were way too difficult for what they were, and I was like, eh.
I liked it. I liked the arcade version because it was
Oh.
at the Cheshire House of Pizza in Boston,
Yeah.
or not Boston,
Cheshire House
Brattleboro.
In Boston.
Fucking idiot.
Uh,
In Brattleboro, or the House of whatever that you know the pizza place off the roundabout in Brattleboro.
Yes.
Yeah, they had that in the corner. That was one of the games. That and the bubble shooting game.
Bubble Bobble.
Yeah.
It's a good game.
And I used to play it, and I really enjoyed it. And I played it for the PlayStation 4 a few years ago, and I fucking crushed the game in like an hour. So, do we want to go over our honorable mentions?
Yeah, but before we do, I need another beer.
Jesus Christ, Robbie! I think this is our record for beer breaks.
Episode 5, or for beer breaks, I think maybe. But episode 5, I think I drank like 6 beers, and they were all like good beers. Like they were hearty. You know what I mean? Like, these are pretty fucking light.
Yeah, you've been drinking shit beers all night, so
Yeah.
I'm halfway through my beer. Does that mean I need to get another one too?
I don't know. Maybe we could have a lot to talk about tonight.
I haven't even talked about my honorable mentions.
I know.
So.
I'm feeling chatty, so this is great.
All right, here we go, Robbie. Here we go.
All right, let's go on a beer break.
All right, and break.
While Robbie and Lauren are getting a new beer, let's take this time to remind all you out there that you can follow us on all our social media platforms, such as on Instagram @The Brew Interviews or Twitter @BrewInterviews. And if you have any questions or suggestions for the show, contact them at thebrewinterviews@gmail.com. Now, back to the show.
And we are back from the beer break. We just got done talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and all the associated things that I own, sadly. But I forgot to ask you, who's your favorite turtle?
My favorite turtle? I like purple.
Donnie?
Yep.
He's my favorite.
Look at us.
Donatello's the best.
I like that they're all named after like Renaissance painters.
Yeah, that was the point. I mean,
Yeah, I like that.
it wasn't
I'm an art
coincidence.
person, Robbie. I like art, okay? So if I can combine art and video games, I'm happy.
Yeah. Art and TV show, or it was comic first, to be fair. But
You're right. Comic, video game, TV show, whatever. If I can associate art with other things.
yeah, I'm good. So now we're going to move on to our honorable mentions. These are things that we believe should be in the top 10 if we actually had to make it, things like that.
My list is very long because I had a really hard time with this.
Yeah. So we talked about Rugrats, right?
Yeah, because Rugrats was my number 4.
I'm just deleting stuff from my list so I don't repeat it. Hey Arnold.
Yeah, you go down your list and I'll go down my list.
Okay, so my first honorable mention is The Real Adventures of Johnny Quest.
I have maybe never seen this ever.
It was a good show. I was obsessed with like the intro theme. I still listen to it every once in a while. It's like on my YouTube favorites. Like I still get hyped. I'm like, yeah, Johnny Quest, yeah, and his.
Was he racing? He raced, right?
No.
Oh.
No, he was. Well, Johnny Quest was an old comic or old TV show. They remade it for the new adventure or the Real Adventures of Johnny Quest.
Uh-huh.
And it's just like them going on different adventures and stuff like that with him and his Indian friend Haji.
Okay, that
super
sounds
racist,
familiar.
But yeah, epic theme song. If you get a chance, look it up. Real Adventures of Johnny Quest. It's pretty awesome.
I will. I'm going to look it up after this. And by that, I mean I'll probably look it up tomorrow at work. Okay, so my honorable mentions are not in any sort of order because I can't order them.
Same here.
All right, so number 1 on mine is Dexter's Lab.
That's a good one.
Because who doesn't love a scientific kid with a fucking dumbass sister? And parents are so oblivious to everything that's happening.
Yeah.
He has a goddamn science lab in his basement.
I like the show, but I don't think it wouldn't be on my top 20, to be honest.
I really liked it. I think it's because I like science a lot.
So do I, but that's not. It just I don't know.
Robbie, don't judge
Because
my honorable mentions.
Dexter's Lab was like along that lines of those late 90s Dexter's Lab, Johnny Bravo, things in that
Yeah, Johnny
era.
Bravo. I watched Johnny Bravo, but like, meh.
Yeah.
I think Dexter's Lab came out in 1996, so it's like a mid-90s show.
It's not bad. I'm just saying
I don't care what you think, Robbie. I liked it. All right, what's next on your list?
My next would be the X-Men cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if anybody
Again, one I never watched.
Yeah, I don't know if it's no, it didn't start in the 80s. Pretty sure it didn't.
Were these on like the more like ABC,
like Saturday morning
like where
cartoons.
Recess played?
Like Saturday morning cartoon.
I never watched Saturday morning cartoons.
Wow. So you
Well, that's because
probably missed
that's
the rest of mine on my list then.
Well, because Saturday mornings are when my parents yard sailed, so I went to my grandparents' house and watched Magic School Bus. So
Yeah, I guess.
I only ever watched like Recess when I was stayed at my friend's house who didn't have cable.
Recess.
So what?
I love Recess. It's a good show.
Yeah, it should be on my honorable mentions, but it's not.
Yeah, X-Men. It's great. I mean, if you know superheroes, you know the X-Men. I mean, it's not anything super special, but it was as someone who liked to read comics and superheroes, it was pretty cool.
I feel like the closest thing that I ever watched to the X-Men was like Gargoyles.
Gargoyles, yeah. That
was a good one.
I had the Gargoyles action figures growing up.
The ones from Burger King.
No, I
had
had the big ones.
Oh, really? I had the one. I think my parents either got them from like Burger King or McDonald's because they came in the Happy Meals.
I do remember that.
Or like from yard sales.
Yeah, I agree. Gargoyles was pretty cool. They had a good Genesis game.
I don't know. I don't have Genesis.
It came out.
I never played it.
Well, I think it came out on both Genesis and Super Nintendo, but Genesis I think was the better version.
I don't think I've ever played either. My turn?
Yep.
All right. This isn't. I mean, technically, it's like a '90s cartoon because it came out in 1999.
Okay.
But then it had multiple seasons after that. It got canceled and then rebooted.
Family Guy.
Ready? All right. So Futurama. I have a Slurm koozie that I usually use when we record this.
Yeah.
But I haven't been able to find it recently, and I'm kind of upset about it because Devin gave it to me.
Yeah.
It came in like one of those boxes that you get, and I really like it, but I don't know where it is. But I really like Futurama, and I don't know if there's any particular reason, but like Fry's a fucking idiot, and Leela's fucking great, and like the professor's just crazy. Like
Zoidberg. It's always thought Zoidberg is my.
Oh, Zoidberg is the best, and
I can't do it right now.
Well, I think I got into it because I really liked it, and so we would like watch a TV show or like before we went to bed every night, and we just literally watched every episode of Futurama.
Yeah, it's a good show. I purposely left off things like Futurama, Simpsons, Family Guy, South Park because I felt like.
Because they're still playing,
but not that. But they're '90s cartoons that started, but they're a totally different breed
genre.
Yeah.
It's not this. It's not. You can't compare Futurama to like Magic School Bus.
No,
like
not
it's
at all.
not the same.
They're both cartoons, yes, but
that's why I put it on my honorable mentions because I was like, this isn't really a 90s cartoon. It didn't have any influence in my young life. Like I didn't start watching it until maybe 4 years ago. Like it wasn't relevant to my growth as a human.
Well, see, here's the thing. South Park was huge in my childhood because it was kind of that taboo. You shouldn't be watching this. And my cousin Jason introduced me to it because he was, I don't know how much older he is than me, maybe 4 or 5 years older than me. But he's the one who introduced me to it. So I always thought it was badass that I could watch South Park, you know what I mean, and get away with it.
Yeah, you're like, I shouldn't be watching this.
Exactly. Like I'm cool like my cousin Jason, you know, and yeah, let's not get into family issues. But yeah.
Well, that's oh shit. We're not going to talk about that.
He sat on my head once in his trampoline, so I don't fuck him. But,
oh.
No, just kidding.
Dear God.
He did. He sat on my head on a trampoline once, and I cried when I was a little kid.
What a jerk. I hope you punched him.
No, I love my cousin Jason. He's awesome. You'd like him.
All right.
You'd like him.
I'm sure I would.
Yeah.
Well, so Futurama's on my honorable mentions only because it barely made the 90s list, and I really enjoy it as a cartoon, and I own some of the actual like physical comics of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got them from Comic Boom. Technically, I bought them for
Comic
I
Boom.
kept them. So.
Yeah.
All right, what's next on your list?
My next honorable mention would be Pokemon.
Yay! Listen. I fucking love Pokemon.
Yeah.
So like,
we grew up in the height of it. I mean, it was the most popular thing ever.
oh yeah, they came out with the movie. They had the soundtrack. Like Pokemon had even still, like, they came out with Pokemon Go. I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm downloading that shit.
Have you seen the new one for the
No,
Switch?
I stopped. No,
It's
no,
gonna be
I
good.
can't. I stopped buying consoles that would play them after the Nintendo SD.
DS?
No,
DS.
SD.
No.
It's not the DS. No, it's not the DS.
The SD?
It's the yes.
What?
It's the little square one that just flips up. It's not the DS. It's not the long
that's
one.
That's not the SD. It's
What is it called?
I have it. It's sitting right there on my shelf in my games.
Well, go fucking look at it. What is it called, Robbie?
It doesn't say the name on it.
I'm telling you right now, it's the Nintendo SD.
I don't remember it being called the SD.
I'm
But
looking
whatever.
it up right now.
But that was Game Boy Advance. So
No, after the Game Boy, the one that came out after the Game Boy Advance.
that's the DS.
No, it's not the DS.
No, okay. So there was the Game Boy Advance, right?
Yes.
And then
The Game Boy Advance SD, and then the Game Boy
square one.
Advance DS.
the square one, right?
Yes.
That's also Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, Game Boy Advance SD.
Yes, it's Game Boy Advance. That's all it was.
It's the Game Boy.
That's
I'm
all it
gonna
was.
punch you.
That's all it was. It just played Game Boy Advance games. It was just had a backlit had a backlight to be backlit. That's all it was.
I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah, I have it right there. I got
Yeah,
the
but
limited
there's a
edition
difference
green.
between the Game Boy Advance and the Game Boy Advance SP.
SP, not SD.
What did I say?
You said SD.
God damn it, Robbie! You know what I meant.
That's what it is. SP. The SP. But they're both Game Boy Advance. It's the same thing.
Yeah, but that's when I stopped buying
That's
those handheld
Ruby and Sapphire.
Ruby and Sapphire and Leaf Green.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot they re-released those weird ones. Yeah.
That's the last Pokemon game that I bought was the Leaf Green, and I bought it used, and they didn't clear the game, and I got this really good. I got a really good Pokemon, and I kept it. It was like level 100, and I was like, "This is so cool."
Yeah, Pokemon. I mean, it's completely influential in our childhood. Probably any 90s, late 80s kid. Pokemon
absolutely.
was ginormous.
We used to. I remember watching it. I used to get dropped off at like daycare off the bus, and my mom would pick me up later, and they would like play Pokemon.
Yep.
Like on the TV. Do you remember at the? One of my favorite parts was like during the break of the show or at the end of the show they had
Who's that Pokemon?
Guess this. Yeah. Yes. And I was always like, I know that Pokemon. All right, you went Pokemon. I like that you're covering the ones that I didn't cover.
I told you, like, that's why you have to look at a list of these 90s TV shows, because it's like you just forget shit.
Well, I wrote down the ones that I remembered, and then I looked at a list, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, you right.
You right.
So my next one on, I have 9 more to get through.
Holy fuck.
Do you want me to just like name a bunch of them?
Yes, because I have 2.
All right. All right, I'll run through them, and if we match, then we match.
We won't. But
Okay, so, ready? Cat Dog.
I know the entire
Ed,
theme
Eddie.
song by heart.
Yeah, because it's fucking great. I love Cat Dog. Excellent show. Ed, and Eddie.
Great show.
Angry Beavers, because I'm a lesbian.
Hey, Angry Beavers.
Who doesn't love an angry beaver? Can that be our intro?
The Angry Beavers theme song?
Yeah, no, but you doing the Angry Beavers theme song.
No.
Can we use that for our beer breaks?
I have a good beer break one.
I know.
So maybe.
God damn it. I'm gonna find a way to use
Yeah.
that. All right, so Cat Dog, Ed, and Eddie, Angry Beavers, Wild Thornberries. Who doesn't?
I can't do his.
Nigel.
Nigel.
That mom. I don't know how she put up with that whole family. They're all fucking ridiculous. That mom should have been a single mom with Eliza, and that's it.
What was the hot sister's name?
Debbie.
Debbie.
That brooding, angry teenage girl.
The
Yes.
flannel.
I love it.
Total
She was
grunge.
definitely a dyke. It's fine.
She wasn't a dyke, but she was grunge.
Yeah, same difference.
No.
Wild Thornberries, Rocket Power.
Rocket
So
Power.
I loved Rocket Power, and I've been to the Santa Monica Pier, which is the pier that
Yep.
that pier was based off of. And I was Reggie one year for Halloween.
Reggie was hot.
I bought this purple wig, and I literally probably the only reason that I was actually wanted to be here for Halloween was because I got to ride a Razor scooter around, because I was like, Mom, she rides a Razor scooter in the show, so you should let me ride it when I'm trick-or-treating. And she's like, all right. And I was like, yes.
Makes sense.
So we have Rocket Power. Real Monsters. Obviously, we already discussed that. Cow and Chicken.
Cow and
It was-
chicken. Oh yeah.
Yeah. It was terribly trashy. And that fucking, like, devil guy, he was really sexual.
That whole I don't know who the producers were. Was it Hanna-Barbera? Because it looks like something they would kind of create, like, graphics-wise, but...
No, it was.
They did Cow and Chicken, and they did IR Baboon.
Yeah, but he was, like, in...
He was like
show.
a sub-character, and then they created... Because it was
They,
IR,
like, did a
IR
spin-off,
Baboon
right?
and I Am Weasel.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's that kind of same...
It's a disgusting show.
It
Like,
really
I don't even know
was.
why I liked it.
It was
but
so bad.
It was terrible, but I just remember being like, this is a show I shouldn't like, so, like, I definitely like it.
Yeah.
That's the rebel in me as a child.
Rebel.
Did you just look at the time?
No, I was looking at my knuckles.
Oh. Did
Sorry.
you punch something?
No.
All right, I'm going to open my next beer because we got beers a while ago and I just finished mine. And I don't have any fingernails right now because I just cut them.
How
so I can't get them
how many honorable mentions do you have left?
open. 2.
Okay, I have 2 left too, so I guess I'll go.
All right,
I'll
so-
go first. Or shit, I have 3. So I'll go first.
All right, well, you go, and then I'll go, and then you go, and then I'll go. And then you go.
So my third to last honorable mention: Be Courage the Cowardly Dog.
I'm really upset that I didn't write that one down. God damn it.
You forgot.
I fucking love Courage the Cowardly Dog.
I just loved how creepy and weird and different it was.
Yeah. All right, so I'm not, like, you and I differ in the fact that you really like scary movies and, like, horror things and, like, creepy things.
Yes.
And, like, I can listen to paranormal podcasts at work, but not anywhere else. And I don't
Okay.
I don't watch scary movies. Even the trailers of scary movies freak me right the fuck out. I don't like being scared because I'm a very sensitive, emotional person. But fuck you, Robbie. But Courage the Cowardly Dog was like, I really liked it because he was really scared like me, but he got through those monsters, man. Like, you can conquer your fears. You get that shit.
Starring Courage the Cowardly Dog. And Muriel.
And Muriel was great. Muriel's great. I love that shit. Muriel's great, and like
So
what the guy?
I just
what's
remember
guy's name?
the bad guy Eustace, but I remember
Yeah.
the bad guys. There was the one episode where he deals with the fucking hamster.
I think I remember. The hamster had like weird eyes,
Yes,
right?
and he shrunk Courage down and sucked him up into a vacuum. And you remember that lady that had the weird plunger hands and feet?
No, I don't know
Oh
if I
my
remember.
god, it is fucking fuck. Like, and she was just like screaming weird shit. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Like, this is Cartoon Network. This shouldn't be a thing. And they're like singing. They're going down like a small world at Disney. Mm-hmm. It's like
Yes.
that, but they're doing it like a creepy. It's a gerbil's world or whatever.
Yes,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay, I'm kind of remembering
Yes.
now. Mm-hmm.
And then there's another episode where I think it's with the fox. Remember the fox that he kept on fighting with?
Yeah, he wears like a suit.
Something. And like they're in this weird town where everything's like silent, and they're shooting those
Yeah.
cannonballs.
Yeah.
And it's like the cannonballs were the only portion of sound in the show. It was so weird. Like, those people were definitely on fucking crack or something, like, because it was,
Oh hell yeah.
oh my god, it was nuts. LSD.
I really like that show.
Yeah,
I
good
remember
show.
that Houston.
Eustace.
What the fuck's his name?
Eustace.
Eustace.
Pronounced Eustace. Okay. So I said Courage the Cowardly Dog. Lauren, what's your next honorable mention?
All right, so I left off on Cow and Chicken, right? Okay, so my next one is Pepper Ann.
Pepper Ann.
Pepper Ann.
I don't remember any of the episodes or anything. I'd have to go back and watch it, but I remember the show.
But Pepper Ann's like dope as shit, so it's fine.
Yeah.
All right, your turn.
My next honorable mention would be DuckTales. Woo!
DuckTales was one of my favorite Game Boy games. Game Boy Color. I had it for Game Boy Color.
Gotta get it for Nintendo. The original Nintendo. It's the best. DuckTales
I
is the
might
best.
have it for that.
You don't.
No, I don't have it
think
for
you
that.
do.
No, I don't. All right, my last one. Is that where we're at? Our last ones?
Yes.
It's like almost 11 o'clock at night. I have to get up early and go to work. My last honorable mention you were teasing me about earlier, and I don't think it was on air, but As Told by Ginger.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I don't remember who did her voice.
I don't either. I can look it up, but I was saying
Whoa here. As Told by Ginger is not a 1990s TV show.
As Told by Ginger came out in 1998.
No, it's saying first episode date 2000.
No, it came out in 1998.
I'm looking at it right now. It says 2000 to 2006.
Well, listen, the
What?
thing that I looked up earlier said 1998. All right. Oh shit.
2000.
All right. So IMDb says
2000.
2000. Maybe that's the Nickelodeon version. Was there a version on another?
Wait,
I'm
says-
real confused now.
Says 2000.
Well, what I looked up earlier, I was looking up lists because like it's hard to remember when you're a child. It said As Told by Ginger was 1998.
It says the pilot was produced in 99, but not shown until 2000.
Then why did this website say 1998?
So Lauren's wrong, as always.
Well, never mind.
So
Can it be my honorable mention that I thought was a 90s TV
Yeah,
show?
right. We'll save it.
All right, that's the last on my list.
Yeah.
And it was you cheated on your top
didn't
cartoon,
cheat.
and I cheated on my bottom cartoon.
I
So
didn't
here we
cheat.
are.
Mine
cheated.
actually was in the 90s. You just made yours up.
Listen, the website that I looked up said 1998, so that's what I went with. All right, what's your last one, bro?
Animaniacs, which I kind of brought up, but we didn't really talk about. But
Because you thought it was my top one.
I just randomly guessed.
I had the little figures. Like my mom got me like the little ones of it. So maybe I watched it and I just don't remember it.
They had a good TV show. They had a good video game.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Here we are. Got something in your eye?
I do.
Get it out.
We're good.
That eye is your drunk eye.
My drunk eye.
Yeah, when you're starting to get like tipsy, that's the one that gets like kind of sleepy.
Don't say that.
Okay, Robbie doesn't have drunk eyes, guys. Don't worry.
Oh,
about it.
drunk eyes.
As he's holding it up, I told him that was his drunk eye, and he's like literally holding his eyelid up over his eye.
We're good.
Maybe it just looks like your drunk eye because it has something in it.
Enough about my drunk eye. Jesus Christ.
I get drunk eyes. It's fine. That's how you know when people are drunk. You get drunk eyes. I get drunk eyes. I'm feeling a little tipsy right now. I'm going to feel like shit at work tomorrow, that's for sure. I have a meeting at 8 a.m. in the morning.
I get up at 4:45.
So do I.
Yeah, but you're not.
All right, you're
real
right.
drunk.
I'm going to get up at 5:45 because, like, fuck it.
So, before we end it here, we've been talking for a while.
I've been talking for 2.5 fucking hours, dude.
Yeah, that's not bad.
It's almost 11 o'clock. I'm sure my neighbors hate me, so.
We talked about our beer. We talked about some brew news. Talked about Rogue and the new beer that they're coming out with, the Marion Berry. We talked about our 5 favorite 90s cartoons that went on pretty long.
And mine.
I said we.
I
So,
thought you said I.
just like to remind you guys, if you'd like to get in contact with us, you can follow our Instagram at the Brew Interviews. You can follow our Twitter at Brew Interviews. And if you'd have any questions or anything of that kind of sort, you can find us at thebrewinterviews@gmail.com. Shoot us an email.
Tell
or
us what
respond.
topics you want to talk about.
Yeah, topics, beers.
Or not you.
Breweries.
What topics?
anything.
Breweries you like, beers you want to suggest for us to drink, topics you want to hear,
Said that.
how you feel about us. Unless it's like negative, then like
We're not gonna
literally
say
go
it.
fuck yourself.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Any
But-
negative comments will not be said on this TV show.
Yeah.
On this podcast, unless it's about Lauren, because that's funny. But thanks for listening. Been a great
And I'm
episode.
sure.
6.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Oh, do we want to end? Listen. Do we
What?
want to end on like a fun beer fact?
No, we don't.
Oh, all right.
Sorry.
Never
That, like
mind.
crushed your spirit. I know. I don't know why that was
I don't want to tell you anyways. This is fine.
I don't know why that was so funny, but I can
Like,
just tell
no,
you
we-
like a 10-year-old. Like, can I say this? I'm like, no. I'm like, shit. Like,
Good. I don't want to tell him anyways. I'll save it for the next episode.
that's funny. Sorry.
We'll edit that out. All right, we're both drunk. I've had about 4 beers tonight. They're all 6% or above. Robbie's had a bunch of beers tonight too. So like, we're both drunk. We're gonna go to bed.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks for listening, everybody.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
This has been the Brew Interviews, a bi-weekly podcast about craft beers coast to coast with Lauren and Robbie.
Here they are going to talk about your brews now.